The arrival in Moscow, a mysterious political strategist known only as Vadim Baranov, dubbed the Wizard, is summoned back to the Kremlin. His reputation as a master manipulator precedes him, a man who can bend narratives and people alike. The Russian president seeks his counsel during a time of internal unrest and rising Western pressure. Baranov reluctantly returns, sensing an opportunity to shape history. Shadows whisper of his past in cinema, where he learned the power of illusion. Now, his craft will serve a far more dangerous stage. The first council inside the Kremlin's grand chambers. Baranov meets with the president and his closest advisors. The state faces growing protests, sanctions, and whispers of disloyalty within the inner circle. Baranov calmly analyzes the chaos, reminding them that perception is more powerful than reality. He lays out a strategy: divide the opposition, strengthen the myth of national destiny, and use disinformation as a weapon. Some advisors resist his methods, calling them manipulative. Yet the president, impressed, grants him full authority to act. Crafting the narrative, Baranov begins orchestrating a vast propaganda campaign across state-controlled media. Carefully designed stories cast the president as a heroic defender against Western interference. At the same time, false scandals are planted about opposition leaders, eroding public trust. Online armies of bots and trolls flood social networks with divisive messages. The people are caught between outrage and confusion, unable to separate truth from lies. Slowly, Baranov's invisible hand reshapes the national mood. A hidden rival within the Kremlin, Baranov notices a quiet but ambitious figure, General Orlov, head of intelligence. Orlov views Baranov as an outsider meddling in matters of state security. And the two men circle each other like predators, their rivalry unspoken but sharp. Orlov favors brute force, arrests, intimidation, and assassinations. Baranov prefers subtler tools, manipulation and psychological warfare. Their clash begins as whispers, but soon grows into a silent war for influence. The protest tens of thousands march through Moscow demanding freedom and reforms. The world watches as footage spreads online. The president grows uneasy, fearing a revolution could ignite like those in neighboring countries. Baranov advises against violent crackdowns, warning it could backfire. Instead, he plants infiltrators among the protesters, spreading chaos and turning the movement against itself. By nightfall, the once united opposition is splintered into factions. The Kremlin hails it as proof of weakness in the people's cause. Ghosts of the past, Baranov retreats to his secluded dacha, reflecting on his life. Once a celebrated filmmaker, he left art behind for politics, seduced by the idea of crafting reality itself. He remembers old friends who condemned his path, accusing him of betraying truth for power. His solitude is broken when a mysterious woman from his past, Elena, arrives. She warns him, the deeper he weaves lies, the more dangerous the truth becomes. Baranov is shaken, but hides it behind cold resolve. The energy war. As Europe faces an energy crisis, Baranov seizes the moment. He engineers a campaign portraying Russia as a besieged fortress, forced to defend itself against foreign greed. Gas supplies are tightened, creating panic abroad. Meanwhile, state media glorifies Russia's resilience and mocks Western weakness. The president praises Baranov's brilliance, calling him indispensable. Yet Orlov grows more suspicious, quietly gathering dirt on the wizard. Their silent duel inches toward confrontation. The Poison Chalice, an opposition journalist, publishes a damning exposé on Kremlin corruption, tracing propaganda operations to Baranov himself. Before the report gains traction, the journalist mysteriously collapses in public. Rumors swirl of poisoning, but no proof emerges. Baranov insists he had no hand in it, yet the stain clings to his name. Elena confronts him, demanding to know how far he will go. His silence is an answer she dreads. The president's trust. The president invites Baranov to a private midnight walk through the Kremlin gardens. He confides in Baranov, admitting he fears betrayal within his circle. He asks Baranov to be not just an advisor, but a protector of his legacy. Baranov accepts, but privately wonders, is he protecting the president or controlling him? Orlov watches from the shadows, vowing to uncover the wizard's secrets. The balance of power tilts dangerously. The false flag, a mysterious explosion, rocks a border town, killing civilians. The Kremlin blames foreign saboteurs, igniting patriotic fury across Russia. Baranov knows the truth. It was staged to unite the people under the president's rule. Yet even he feels the weight of so many innocent lives sacrificed for illusion. The protests vanish overnight, replaced by nationalist fervor. Orlov, however, suspects Baranov of masterminding the event and begins to tighten his trap. The American contact through encrypted channels. Baranov receives an unexpected message from Western intelligence. They offer him a deal: defect and reveal the Kremlin secrets or risk being destroyed in Orlov's purge. Torn between loyalty and survival, Baranov hesitates. Elena urges him to take the chance, insisting the truth must someday prevail. But Baranov sees both sides as dangerous illusionists. He resolves to play his own game, using both East and West as pawns. Orlov strikes General Orlov, moves against Baranov, presenting evidence of treason to the president. Leaked documents, intercepted calls, and fabricated proof paint the wizard as a Western agent. The president confronts Baranov, demanding an explanation. With icy calm, Baranov dismantles Orlov's case, exposing the general's lies. Orlov is humiliated but not defeated. The rivalry has crossed a line, now it is a fight to the death. The puppet strings Baranov deepens his hold on the Kremlin, advising sweeping reforms that tighten state control. Cultural institutions, universities, and film studios are absorbed into the propaganda machine. He resurrects old myths and legends, weaving them into patriotic identity. The people no longer question, they obey. But as Baranov gazes at his empire of illusions, he feels a flicker of dread. He has created a reality where even he no longer knows the truth. Elena's choice. Elena secretly records Baranov, capturing him admitting to orchestrating manipulations and deceptions. She intends to leak it to the world, believing it may awaken the people. But before she can act, Orlov discovers her plan. He offers her protection in exchange for betraying Baranov. Torn between love and conscience, Elena must choose. Her decision will seal the wizard's fate. The trap Orlov lures Baranov into a meeting under the pretense of negotiation. Instead, armed men surround him, ready to execute the Kremlin's wizard. But Baranov anticipated betrayal. With chilling precision, he turns Orlov's own allies against him, exposing their hidden ambitions. A firefight erupts in the Kremlin's underbelly, ending with Orlov vanishing into the night. Baranov survives, but the walls close in tighter than ever. The president falters. The president suffers a sudden health crisis, leaving him weak and isolated. Baranov quietly takes the reins, running the government from behind the scenes. Ministers and generals bow to his influence, whispering that the wizard now rules in all but name. Yet the people sense instability and murmurs of rebellion stir again. Without the president's aura, Baranov's illusions seem fragile. He realizes that power built on shadows can vanish with a single spark. Elena's betrayal. Elena releases the recording of Baranov's confession to Western intelligence. The tape spreads across underground networks and foreign media, painting him as the puppet master of lies. The Kremlin denounces it as fake, but doubt begins to spread. Baranov is furious, yet wounded by her betrayal. For the first time, his mask cracks, revealing a man who once dreamed of truth but became its destroyer. The fall of the wizard. As the Kremlin fractures, Orlov returns with Western backing, leading a faction of generals against Baranov. Civil unrest spreads across Moscow as rival forces battle for control. In a desperate move, Baranov tries to seize the presidency outright. But the people, weary of lies, no longer believe in his illusions. His empire of shadows collapses around him. The wizard stands alone, betrayed by the very illusions he conjured. Exiled Baranov flees Russia, vanishing into Europe under a false identity. He drifts through anonymous cities, haunted by his own voice, echoing in Elena's recording. Western intelligence approaches him again, this time offering asylum in exchange for silence. He refuses, knowing he has nothing left to bargain with. In the end, he is just a man stripped of his illusions, a ghost of power. The last illusion post-credit scene. In a quiet cafe in Paris, a young filmmaker approaches Baranov. She has read his screenplays from long ago, before politics consumed him. She asks if he will teach her the art of storytelling. Baranov hesitates, then smiles faintly. The camera lingers on his eyes, uncertain whether he is about to redeem himself or begin weaving one final illusion.